Shit. Hey. What's going on, people? I am back with a new video. Yes, this is the two-parter. I started with the 70s women, and I talked about Betty Wright. I talked about, Jackie Moore. I talked about Gwen McCrae. I talked about Denise LaSalle. I talked about so many women. But now, and those are the women that are not really discussed in 70s when, you know, like I said, I went on a cruise and they did a 70s tribute and they did Heart of Soul of the 70s, and they did a lot of the more known 70s artists. Like I came in with Al Green. Now when you talk about 70s soul, it seems like when people do tributes, everybody do one on Marvin and Stevie and Al Green and Michael and all that. But they forget about a lot of men in the 70s that were ruling it. And that's my problem. I respect that these guys were able to cross over to that mainstream America, but you still had other men in the 70s that were dominating the soul charts. Like, I wish that can go on now and people can have careers, but it seems like just the R&B and soul charts does not mean anything, and it sucks. But I wanted to do a video on 7 guys that I don't feel get a lot of talk. You know what I mean? So y'all gonna groove with me in this video just like the last one. If you haven't watched the first one, well, watch this one. Yeah, watch this one and then go to the next one or whatever, or how you do it, whatever. But I feel like you're going to enjoy both because you're going to get a little bit of history. You're going to groove with me a little bit, groove with a little bit of music. Some of this music going to take you back. Some of this music you're going to be like, what the hell is this? But you're going to enjoy it. So, got my Crown and Coke. Thank you very much. Yes, yes, indeedy. Yes, yes, yes. So, like I said, we came in with Al Green. Like I said, that's all people talk about when they do 70s soul, when they do men. But there's an artist that I want to start with, and I'm going to start with Mr. Tyrone Davis. Now, a lot of people know from, you know, this song right here. Come on, computer.
She been down and I, as I packed my bags to leave, I thought she would start to cry. I sit around my room.
So that's one, and then this one I think is the biggest that everybody knows. Oh, darling, I'm so lonely without you. Do 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 do. Ain't it good? Always thinking about you. Do 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 do. To start all over, I'll be wishing today bought a 4-leaf clover. And last thing on my mind, if I can turn back the hands of time. Okay, so y'all know about all that. Now, what bothers me is nobody talks about Tyrone. Go on Wikipedia, go on any Billboard chart. Tyrone has over 30 top 10 soul singles that charted. But these songs wasn't big crossovers except Turn Back the Hands of Time and I Changed My Mind. Those were big crossovers for him. But if you're going to talk about 70s soul, you got to talk about Tyrone. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You have to talk about Tyrone. Like, one of my favorite songs is actually this. Now, when me and my family puts this on, we start jamming. Hey. I see you every day. When you walk by this way, you go to the house next door, say I was so, oh, I don't know who you going to see. That's some soul right there, y'all. Come on, man. And then another one is this one. Talking about the home wreckers. Sure enough to get to you. All these home wreckers. See, I started in the chorus, but it's all good. But Tyrone had so many hits. But if y'all go back to the album cover that had I Wish It Was Me, that album cover reminds me of my grandmother and my grandfather. We always make fun, like when we go on YouTube and we put that song in, it's an album cover that comes up and it reminds us of my grandmother and my grandfather. We talk about it all the time. But Tyrone had so many hits. Now, if you want to talk about people that should know about Tyrone, ask Snoop, ask Pete Rock. They have sampled a Tyrone Davis song. Yes, you can go on whosampled.whatever.com or .net or .org or whatever it is, and they definitely sampled it. If you ask Pete Rock right now if he has sampled Tyrone Davis, and he will absolutely tell you he did. Snoop did it on his 2002 album. I forgot what the song was called, and he sampled that. Because you know Snoop is a big 70s fan. He knows about Tyrone. He definitely knows about Tyrone. But, you know, somebody that reminds me of Tyrone in these days and time will be Jaheim. Jaheim reminds me of that Tyrone Davis type of sound. You know, it got a little bit of growl in his voice, and the boy can sing, and he reminds me of that, especially his 2013 Appreciation Day. That album reminded me of Tyrone so much, because Tyrone was the suit type of guy and singing ballads to the women and talking about how he was begging. He was a beggar. Now, Tyrone was a beggar. Definitely was a beggar. But Tyrone should definitely be in... When you talk about 70s soul and you do tributes on 70s soul, he should definitely be one of the artists that you talk about. But Tyrone was someone that I did not like when I was little. And my mother would tell me all the time, watch, when you get older, you're going to love it. And I love it. I have his greatest hits on my computer. I love it. I play it a lot. A lot of people, I talk about it on Instagram, my Twitter, all that good stuff. I love Tyrone Davis. And when he passed, it was kind of hit because it was part of my childhood. So, Tyrone, when you talk about 70s soul, Tyrone should definitely be included into that. Now, another one I want to start talking about is Mr. Bobby Womack. Bobby Womack is another that gets a little bit respect. Woo! I'm going to go to the chorus. Hold on. Then you got to say all your P's and Q's. If you dump the woman, you can easily lose. Oh, I had a love and I lost her. Woo! Oh, shit. A woman's gotta have it. I believe her. I let her know that she's leaning around. When they kiss her, you gotta make her feel it. Oh, that sounds so good. But Bobby Womack, to me, kind of reminds me on career-wise Janet. And let me tell you why. Bobby Womack he was under Sam Cooke. And y'all know, if y'all know, y'all follow me, y'all know Sam Cooke is my favorite male artist of all time. Singer of all time. Love him to death. He is just amazing. I just love him. And he was background for Sam Cooke, as him and his brothers, the Valentinos. Now, you know, Bobby had to get out of that shadow of the Sam Cooke situation when he married Sam Cooke's wife after he died. Now, as a fan of Sam Cooke, yes, I would have, and then that time I would have been mad too, because it's like, yo, that was your friend and you married your friend's wife right after 3 months after they got married, or 3 months or 8 months or whatever it was. It was your friend. So he got a lot of backlash for that. So he had to get out of there. But one thing about music and with soul genre, if we feel you and we feel your emotion, we're going to love it. That's just period, point blank. So, you know, if you really want to know about Bobby Womack, you can also check out his Unsung as well. You can check out his Unsung. He was like, you know, he has a story. It's a tragic story, but if you want to learn about Bobby Womack, I would recommend you to do that, and then go listen to his music. But one thing that bothered me about Bobby Womack, when he passed, it seemed like everybody only knows about A Woman's Gotta Have, I'm Not a Woman's Gotta Have It. Everybody only know about If You're Lonely Now. It seemed like that was the biggest record. Everybody was talking about that. I'm like, are you serious? He has Cross 110th Street. He had I Can Understand It. My favorite song actually is the remake of what Sam Cooke did, and I like his version better. I'm going to go to the chorus. Give me a second. Come on now. Nobody wants you when you're down and out. Nobody wants you when you're down and out. Down and out. Oh my God. I like that. But people need to know, Bobby had hits on the R&B chart as well. He was running in the 70s just like Tyrone. He was running it on the R&B charts as well. After he, you know, came out with, because his first album was, I think, in 1966. I'm not too sure. Because before that, he was with his brothers. And what people need to understand, Bobby Womack is a big reason for the Rolling Stones having a big hit. He wrote It's All Over Now with his brothers, the Valentinos, and the Rolling Stones took it and got a big hit out of it. See? Bobby was big in the pop world, but does he get respect for that? No. Everybody act like the Rolling Stones did it, but you know what they did back then, stole our music. Yep, I said it. And they stole our music. I said it again. And they made it their own. But that was a big song for the Rolling Stones, and Bobby Womack wrote it. But does he get any respect of what he's done? No. That's why I'm going to need y'all to check. So when y'all do these 70s tributes, y'all need to do your homework. And he needs to be part of the 70s tribute as well. He definitely needs to be part of the 70s tribute. And he has plenty hits. And you know one thing about Bobby, I always consider Bobby as more my childhood, because even though Sam Cooke, I love Sam Cooke, and Sam Cooke was a big part of my childhood because of my grandfather, but Bobby Womack is because of my mother. My mother played Bobby out. Do you hear me? She played him out. Now, I started to love him as a kid, so it didn't take me a while. It took me a while with Tyrone, but with Bobby, I loved him off the break. So Bobby should definitely be included in these 70s tribute as well. You know who reminds me of Bobby? Tyrese, with that growl in his voice. Tyrese, like his new song, Shame, that reminds me of a Bobby Womack. But the one that reminds me of Bobby Womack is Calvin Richardson. Calvin Richardson, no, he Bobby Womack Jr. He even did a tribute album to Bobby Womack, and he killed it, bodied it. Calvin Richardson is another guy that is so underrated, and he don't get the respect he deserves. That boy can sing. He gives you that soul, that, you know, oh, God, he gets that gritty soul that I miss in our music, especially today. But Tyrese gives you a little bit of that, and you know, but I think Calvin should get a lot more love than he does. But he gives you that Bobby Womack feeling, and I feel like I said, if you're going to do a 70s tribute, you need to definitely do, Bobby should definitely be included. Bobby should definitely be included. Period, point blank in the period. Now, we're going to go to somebody that I think is my mom's personal favorite. And I think y'all know when y'all hear this song right here. right now. And then y'all of course know this, because these were the biggest songs. Boogie Down, Baby. Those are the two biggest. Now, I know my mom loves Eddie Kendricks. Oh, that was another one. Bobby Womack and Eddie Kendricks is a lot that my mom played. Now, my mom played Eddie so much that I actually kind of forgot that he was part of the Temptations, to be honest with you, because we played it solo so much that I literally forgot about him. So, but for one thing about Mr. Eddie Kendricks that people don't know is between 71 and 78, he was bodying the R&B charts right along with Bobby Womack and Tyrone Davis. He was killing it as well. You know what I'm saying? And he just don't. I feel like he don't get the respect more as a solo artist. He gets more respect when he's with the Temps. So when I feel like people put him in the 60s category when they do the Temptations, they're like, okay, you can talk about Eddie Kendricks doing lead on, you know, Girl, Why You Gotta Make Me Blue, or the way you do the things you do. They talk about, and Just My Imagination, they talk about more of that than they talk about his solo hits. Bobby, Lord have mercy. I've been drinking. But, like I always do in every video. But, Eddie Kendricks had so many songs. Like, his greatest hits is crazy. And I just remember me and my mother was talking about one of my favorite songs from Eddie Kendricks, and that's He's a Friend. Now, He's a Friend, oh my God, that beat goes so hard. When it drops. He is a friend of mine. Like, I love that song. So, as a little kid, I loved this song. I used to just dance to it, whatever. When my mother told me he was talking about God, now, y'all, I just do the hand clap. Yes, I make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Yes, indeed. Because, you know, all that dancing, yes, it's all good. But when you find out it's gospel, you don't want to be boogieing like you know what I mean? Like you in the club. He's talking about God. But on Soul Train, they will go in. Do you hear me? But the part of He's a Friend that I like is the breakdown. I'm going to go to the breakdown. Y'all can't tell me y'all can't feel this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all can't tell me that breakdown is serious. Hey, Premier, any one of y'all, please go and get just that breakdown and put it in one of y'all new songs. Somebody. That breakdown is ill. Y'all cannot deny that breakdown. Now, when it comes to 70s hits, he's definitely included with all of them. Ask Alicia Keys with Unbreakable. Yeah, she did Intimate Friends. She sampled that. My favorite rapper alive right now is Nas. Papa was a player. He sampled one. The goodness, the newness is gone. Eddie Kendricks song that he sampled. Yes, he definitely did. Pete Rock, God on You. You definitely sampled Eddie Kendricks song with your song Good Life. Or you sample Girl You Need God dang it, what is the Eddie Kendricks song? God, I can't think of it. Girl You Need a Change Your Mind, Good Life, that's what you sampled. And everybody know we keep on trucking. Mr. Cheeks, you sampled Lights, Camera, Action. Yes, you did. See what I'm saying? And J-Lo, I ain't forget about you, because Doing It Well, you sampled that too. So, yo, Eddie Kendricks was also running R&B radio as well between 71 and 78. He was killing it as well. So when you do a tribute, you should do one to him. Now, you know that what's funny about Eddie Kendricks? I was asking my mom before I was doing this video, because I was, you know, trying to figure out what artists I wanted to put in the male artists that I wanted. And I said, Mom, who reminds you of Eddie Kendricks? And you know who my mother said? Trey Songz. The phone went quiet just like that, y'all. Because I said, Ma, you got to be kidding me. Really? She was like, no, you know, he got a high pitch and sound like a girl. I was like, Trey Songz strains too much for me. Eddie Kendricks don't strain to hit a note. So, negative, mama. Try again. Nobody really reminds me of Eddie Kendricks. The only one that did was the guy from 70's. I forgot what his name was. The lead singer. And he was kind of the one that kind of had that high-pitched voice like Eddie. But Eddie had that distinct voice. And he had hits. So, again, when you do a 70's tribute, add Eddie in there, too. So, he should be in there. So, it's two more people that I want to talk about that I really don't feel like get the credit they deserve. And one of them is a guy that nobody really talks about at all. And he had basically one big record, but he had a lot of R&B songs too. And I think y'all gonna know it as soon as I press play. Now, he is under the radar. Definitely, Johnny Taylor is under the radar. He is one of the artists, actually, that my mom and grandfather didn't really like. But he brought records every day, but they really didn't like him like that. But you know who liked him? My grandma. My grandma loved Johnny Taylor. She used to play him, and which made, obviously, us enjoy him a lot more better, because I wouldn't have known a lot about Johnny Taylor. It's really not still a big play now, but, you know, the older I got, the more I get more into soul, so I can know who's who and all that kind of stuff. And he actually has a link to one of my favorite artists, and another favorite artist that was actually big in the 70s was Mr. Marvin Gaye. You know, it's a fact that Marvin Gaye, this disco lady that y'all hearing in the background, was inspired by, Marvin Gaye was inspired by this song. So, Gots to Give It Up, the song that Pharrell and Robin Thicke stole. Yes, I said it. And that song, Gots to Give It Up, that, again, that Marvin and that Pharrell and Robin Thicke stole. Yes, I said it again. And that that was his answer to Disco Lady. Never knew that. I was like, wow, Johnny. Okay, Johnny. But Johnny got some hits, too. Y'all need to check out Johnny. Johnny had some hits as well. He was on Stax. And y'all know, as being a soul fan, I love Stax. So maybe that was another reason why I wanted to throw Johnny in here, because he was part of Stax, because I love Stax records a little better than Motown. Which I'll do a video with my mom about that, because me and her can go back and forth with that one. But, yeah, he is another one that, but see, a lot of people know Johnny from Martin. Because you know, in Martin, in the episode with Otis, and Martin is like, it's cheaper to keep a boy. It's cheaper to keep Otis was talking to them, and he talked about that. And you know, Martin was a big old head, because he talked about Willie Hutch, brother gonna work it out a lot, and he just talked about, you know, that. And Johnny Taylor is another that should be recognized, and he is the reason for a big hit from Marvin Gaye, because Marvin Gaye was inspired from that song to write Gotta Give It Up. So, you know, I wanted to throw Johnny in there. Now, the last person that I want to talk about, that this man nobody talks about. I don't really hear nobody talking about it, no producers, no nothing, and they should definitely talk about him. Because any person that loves hip-hop and that is a big fan of old school hip-hop will know this beat as soon as I put it on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Honeydrummers in the house tonight. They just got back from Washington, D.C. I think they got something they want to say.
Now, any producer at all, this song, In Peace the President, has been sampled by everybody, and nobody seems to talk about Brother Roy C. Nobody. If it wasn't because of that song, I don't even think that song and James Brown is the reason why hip-hop is what it is. Because back then you had to really know how to spit, because in these days, clearly you don't have to. But you had to know how to spit because they just did it over 70's beats, and they added drums and snares and all that stuff to it, and that's what they did. And Peace the President, my mom, that was actually the first Roy C. song my mom told me about. Mind you, because a lot of hip-hop heads have used this. A lot of hip-hop heads, and I'm going to break them down. But let me talk about Brother Roy C. first. Roy C. wrote this song during the impeachment. They wanted the whole Nixon thing. Him, and he was a part of a group, the Honey Drippers. And he wrote this song to talk about impeaching the president. Now, back then, a lot of artists did that, but I think the only one that really gets more respect is Stevie. When Stevie did You Haven't Done Nothing, and then he did Mr. Know-It-All. See, everybody knows that one. But in Peace the President, everybody uses that beat. So I don't understand how y'all don't talk about Roy C., but I'm definitely going to talk about him, because Roy C. should definitely be talked about, because he's definitely, this song and what he did is definitely important to hip-hop. So, my mom used to play, well, I was introduced by this song that my mom played, and my mom's like, I want you to hear this because this was written by Roy C., and it was about impeaching the president and doing the Nixon and Watergate and things like that. And you know, my mom knew then I was getting into a lot of politics because of my grandfather, but my grandparents found out about Roy C. from Long Beach, New York. You know, they used to hang out there. We got family out there. And you know, back then, a lot of music was a more word-of-mouth kind of thing, and that's how it worked, according to my mom. You know, somebody had a record, and, you know, they gave it to somebody else loved it, and it just went through there. And that's how they fell in love with Roy C., because Roy C. is actually from Georgia. But he has that Southern soul, but In Peace the President is, he wrote with a group that he was in, which is called the Honey Drippers, and they wrote that song, and they got a couple more songs, but this song is the most important because it's the reason why basically hip-hop existed. And the people that sampled this was Marley Marl, DJ Premier, Pete Rock. Let's talk about Top Billin'. Y'all know, Unbelievable, DJ Premier, yes she did. That's the Way Love Goes, they used the drums for Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, yes they did. The Bridge Is Over, yes they did. Boogie Down Productions, indeed. Real Love basically used the Top Billin', so of course you're gonna get, Roy C. is getting a piece of this because they also use In Peace the President. So this song is so important, but nobody seems to talk about Roy C. Nobody wants to talk about his music. That man was great. I love him. I love Roy C. to death. One of my favorite songs that I always play to him is this song, and a lot of people don't know about it, but I know a lot of people that know soul and is deep in soul knows this. I love it.
A man can't go no farther than a woman let him. Oh, Lord, I said a man can't get your love unless your woman let him.
Oh, yeah. Yes, come on, Roy. Find a man in your bedroom. Don't blame the man. Don't blame the man. Don't blame the man. That song goes in. Every time I want to start with Roy C., I play that song. He has another song that, If I Can Love You Forever, love it. It's a slow ballad. But I just wanted to talk that Roy C. definitely should be, when you doing tribute, and the hip-hop fans should definitely give Roy C. more respect than he should, because that man, In Peace the President, is so important to hip-hop. So important to hip-hop, and I don't see people talking about Roy C. But you're going to get it here on Music for Your Soul. I'm going to talk about Roy C. Yes, indeedy. But I think I kept y'all long enough. But like I said, you know, when people do 70s tributes, y'all should definitely throw Roy C in there. Eddie Kendrick should be thrown in there. Johnny Taylor should be thrown in there. And definitely, dang, I forgot who I added, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh, Tyrone. Tyrone and Bobby Womack. Let me go again. Let me get this right. Tyrone, Bobby, Eddie, Roy C, and Jesus, I can't get it. And Johnny Taylor, yes. Y'all, when you do 70s tributes, now I understand that they didn't have, all of them didn't have the big crossover success like Marvin and Al Green and Stevie Wonder and artists like that. But they definitely was ruling the R&B charts. These guys wasn't maybe able to cross over, but they still had plenty of R&B hits. So listen to me. Carnival Pride, any one of y'all, when y'all are doing 70s Heart or Soul tribute, these guys should definitely be included. Because they are that real soul that we're kind of missing now. I wish we had a lot of more of them now to demonstrate, but we do have it, like Tyrese and Leon Bridges and Avant and R. Kelly, and there's plenty others that give you that kind of soul that these guys have. But when you want to do a tribute, or R&B tribute, do it to these guys. So I think I kept y'all long enough. I hope y'all groove with me, drank a little bit, party with me a little bit, and I'm going to go out to my man Roy C. Come on, Roy. Peace, y'all. True E!